Radha Indra Bihari Gopijana Balaba Vivaradari Gopijana Balaba Vivaradari Gopijana Balaba
Shri Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Under Chaya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvajakatai Astacharya Shri Srimad Divine Grace Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Nant Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Ramacharya Shlaidas Thakur Ki Shri Krishna Chaitanya Babu Nityananda Shri Veda Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Gopa Gopinath, Shamakunda, Radha Kunda, Giri Govardhan Ki. Navandam Ki. Maya Budam Ki. Raghunath Puridam Ki. Gangamaya Ki. Yamunaya Ki. Tulasi Devi Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda. Gaura Premananda. Ah, gloriously assembled devotees. Ah, gloriously assembled devotees. Ah, gloriously assembled devotees. Ah, gloriously Sri Gurang Gauranga. So, we'll read Srila Prabhupada Lilamrta. We're going to have a Jai Radha Madhava quiz. What is the first line of Jai Radha Madhava? Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Radha and Krishna and the bushes of Vrindavan.
Right. All glories to them. Right? Jai.
Yes.
Who wants to tell us what the second line means? Gopi Jana Balaba Giri Varadari.
Gopi Jana is assembly of gopis.
Right.
Gopi
Vallabha?
Jana, Vallabha. Vallabha, the one who's I forget what Vallabha.
See, the loving the gopis are maintaining.
Oh,
the
right,
gopis,
right.
yeah.
The lover of the gopis, yeah.
Giri Varadari. Anybody? Anybody?
Govardhan.
I was
Ha Yeah. Giri means hill, and Vara means best. So Govardhan is the best hill, and Dari means the one who lives. Yashoda Nandana. What's he doing? Anybody?
Darling of Mother Yashoda. But we know all these things.
No, some
Get
of these
to the-
people are new and they don't.
Oh, they know it all.
Yeah, it's just covered. Okay, Brajadana Ranjana. Anybody know?
I don't know what
Braj is another word for Vrindavan.
Right, Brajajana.
Jana
people
means
of
to go.
And Braj is the people. Oh, sorry,
Jana
Jana
is
is the
the
people. So it's the people of Vrindavan. Brajajana Ranjana means he gives
They
pleasure.
run towards Krishna.
He gives pleasure.
Run, Jana. Run, Prabhus.
He gives pleasure to the residents of Vrindavan. And Yamuna Tirvanachari. Anybody? Yamuna Tirvanachari.
Come on, Prabhu, come and get your Gita.
Yes, come on.
Prabhu.
Anybody have Yamuna Tirvanachari? Anybody?
What is it over here?
I think it's because Radha used to take bathe in the Yamuna River, and they do rituals there. So he's talking about Radha's pastimes around the Yamuna River.
There are more Krishna's pastimes, but so you got the Yamuna River, and the Tira is the bank, so it's on the bank of the river, and Yamuna Tiravana is the forest. So it's this pastimes in the forest on the bank of the river Yamuna. Chari means to go, and Chari means one who goes. So he's just going along the forest, the river Yamuna, performing his pastimes.
Oh.
Chari. Now we can meditate on it when we sing Jai Radha. So, Prabhupada Lilamrta, chapter entitled London, a Dream Fulfilled. We're on a new section here. The second moon landing.
Talk in the microphone.
Sorry.
Didn't we read that one last time?
No.
I
Not
remember
yet.
that
No,
part.
we're getting to the moon landing now.
This is the second moon landing.
Oh, okay.
The second moon landing by American astronauts was scheduled for
Wait a minute. Second moon landing?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one was in July or something. It was when I was in Europe in the middle of '69.
Double hoax.
Was scheduled for mid-November, only a few weeks away. For months, the moonshots had received much press coverage, and Prabhupada would speak of them often. Almost a year ago in Los Angeles, he had answered a reporter's queries on the possibility of man's landing on the moon. Just like we are going from one place to another by motor car or by airplane, this mechanical process will not help us go to the moon planet. The process is different, as described in the Vedic literature. One has to qualify. According to our literature, our information is not possible. In this body, we cannot go there. At Tittenhurst, Prabhupada often brought up the moon landing while talking with his disciples. The moon landing was a hoax, he said, one evening in his room, for they cannot go to the moon. The moon planet, Chandraloka, is a residence of the demigods, higher beings than these drunkards and cow-eating slaughterers who are trying to inhabit it. You cannot think this travel is allowed. Like when I migrated from India to the US, the moon planet cannot be visited so quickly. It is not possible. Srila Prabhupada's disciples accepted his statements. He was giving not simply his opinion, but the verdict of the Vedic scriptures. Because he accepted Vedic authority over modern science, so did his disciples, but not Purushottam. Detecting Purushottam's dubious mentality, Prabhupada would often joke lightly in Purushottam's presence. Someone would ask a question, "Where's Janaki?" And Prabhupada would reply, "Oh, Janaki has gone to the moon." And everyone except Purushottam would laugh. The devotees knew Purushottam's difficulty. He was an American and proud that Americans were conquering space. And they knew that Prabhupada was joking about it. Purushottam was up on the latest scientific advancements. He was impressed by NASA's achievements and astronaut Neil Armstrong's giant step for mankind. Although Purushottam went on with his duties, he became sullen, and Prabhupada noted his lack of enthusiasm. One morning, Purushottam and Yamuna were together with Prabhupada in his room. Purushottam had several days' growth of beard and was wearing the same orange sweater he had slept in, whereas Yamuna was neat and clean. Although she only had 2 simple cotton saris, she would always put on a freshly washed and ironed one before going to see Prabhupada. Looking at his 2 servants, Prabhupada said, "Yamuna, you have so many saris, they are all so beautiful." Yamuna looked up at Prabhupada in surprise. "I don't have so many, Srila Prabhupada." "No," he said, "you're wearing a new piece of cloth every day. It is so nice. You are always looking so neat and clean. And your tilak." Purushottam, "What do you think? Who do you think has the best tilak?" Purushottam didn't answer. "Beautiful tilak," Prabhupada said, means beautiful person. About 6 o'clock the same evening, Yamuna was cooking puris and potatoes for Prabhupada when she heard him ring the servant's bell. Leaving the ghee on the fire, she ran up to Prabhupada's quarters. He talked with her about the lecture he would give that evening and eventually asked, "Will prasadam be ready before the discourse?" "Yes, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada smelled smoke." "Oh," she gasped, "Excuse me, Prabhupada, I left some ghee on the fire." Rushing downstairs, she found the kitchen filled with black smoke. She couldn't see the stove.
This is London?
Yeah.
Oh, John Lennon's house, too.
Yeah, Tittenhurst, right. "Purushottam, Purushottam," she cried. Purushottam arrived, and together they groped through the smoke. Somehow Purushottam extinguished the fire before it caused serious damage. Purushottam and Yamuna were covered with soot. Their faces were black, and Purushottam's orange sweater, his robes, and Yamuna's sari were all blackened. Suddenly Prabhupada rang the servant's bell, and they both hurried upstairs to tell him about the fire. Well, when Janaki returned downstairs and saw the mess, she ran upstairs to Prabhupada's room, where Yamuna and Purushottam stood, still covered with soot, before Prabhupada. "What has happened here?" Janaki burst out. Prabhupada looked at her soberly and said, "Today Purushottam has gone to the moon." "What?" Janaki asked. Prabhupada repeated, "Yes, our Purushottam has gone to the moon." Prabhupada Purushottam said, "I'm a brahmachari. Why are you saying these things?" "Being a brahmachari is no restriction from going to the moon. Anyone can go," Prabhupada said, winking. So that's the end of the...
That's hilarious. Prabhupada was using, what do they call that, sarcasm?
Yeah.
To correct his disciple. A little comedy, sarcasm goes a long way.
That's for sure.